Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Tom Booker, Senior Instructor, and this is our Warrior Personal Strength lesson. And today we're going to start talking together about courtesy. And we'll be doing this during our next few lessons. Courtesy will be our Warrior Personal Strength. Courtesy is a tenet of Taekwondo, one of the fundamental principles, the basic truths we learn and apply when we study the martial arts. This is a personal strength of our heart. When we think about courtesy, for most of us, the first thing that comes to mind is good manners, that we are polite to others. This is where courtesy starts. But there is more to applying this as our personal strength. When we apply courtesy, we make sure to treat other people with respect and consideration in our interactions with them. This is also sometimes called civility. Courtesy also involves our willingness to cooperate with others, to provide help when we can, and to treat them with generosity. Our willingness to listen to someone else, to hear them out and let them finish what they have to say, especially when we don't agree with them and think they are mistaken, is an example of courtesy. Other related words for courtesy, ways people describe this personal strength, are civility, respectfulness, decency, grace, tact, and dignity. Opposites for this personal strength are rude, vulgar, disrespectful, insolent, disdainful, surly, and graceless. None of these are considered to be positive qualities. We apply courtesy as our personal strength in several related ways. 1. We are polite in our dealings with others. We use good manners. This applies both to what we say to others and how we behave towards them. We learn and follow formal etiquette, rules for acceptable behavior in our interactions with others. For example, when we're in the dojo, we exchange bows with our instructors and fellow students to show courtesy and respect. Should the newest, least experienced student in the dojo bow to the most senior, their bow is always returned. 2. We treat others with respect and consideration. We show them that they matter to us. We're willing to wait our turn and let someone else go first. We let people finish what they're saying before we speak out. We don't jump in and interrupt them. We respect others' personal boundaries. We keep our hands to ourselves and don't touch them without their permission. We're careful to allow them their personal space. 3. We also treat ourselves with respect. We show ourselves just as much consideration as we do others. We adopt a healthy lifestyle. We're physically active, eat wholesome, nutritious foods, and get plenty of rest. We're careful to choose worthwhile people as our friends and associates, people we respect for their character, abilities, and accomplishments. We insist that others treat us with just as much civility, courtesy, and respect as we treat them. Ultimately, we're willing to end a relationship with someone who won't treat us with proper respect. This is a way of respecting ourselves. 4. We treat others with generosity. When someone asks for or needs our assistance or support, we provide this if we can. We greet people when we meet them and make them feel welcome. We compliment others on their efforts and achievements, even when they fall short of perfection. For example, imagine that one of our fellow students is demonstrating Won Yo Hyung. They're performing with good technique, power, and focus, but they make a mistake at the end and use double knife hand blocks where they should use double fist blocks. Instead of telling them what a stupid mistake they just made, we can honestly compliment them on their power and focus. We let them know that we're paying attention to them and that their efforts matter to us. 5. We show gratitude to others. We say, thank you. We let others know that their contributions, support, and assistance matter to us. We acknowledge their help and make sure they know we are grateful to them for it. We also accept compliments graciously. When another student compliments us on our power and focus with Won Yo, we don't reject their compliment and moan and groan about the mistake we made at the very end. We let them know we appreciate their attention and their concern. We say, thank you. 6. We accept others for who they are, even if they are different from us. We don't limit courtesy and respect just to our friends or people we're familiar and comfortable with. We give them our full attention and let them have their say, even if we don't agree with them and feel that they are mistaken. We make our best effort to understand their point of view. We're open and willing to cooperate with others, to work together with them to achieve worthwhile goals. When we apply courtesy, respect, and consideration, we demonstrate our fundamental goodwill in our dealings with others. We're showing that we're willing to engage with them in a positive, constructive, and cooperative manner. We're showing others that we value them and that they matter to us, even if it's somebody we just met and don't really know yet. Courtesy is the glue that bonds us into solid, stable, and worthwhile relationships with others. By contrast, when someone is rude to us, disrespectful, and inconsiderate, this expresses their fundamental hostility and contempt. They're showing us they don't value us or consider us to be worthwhile. They will only engage with us if and when they want to get something out of us. Courtesy, respect, and consideration is our firm foundation for building positive, productive social and personal relations. Some important things happen for us when we learn and apply courtesy. 1. We learn and apply high standards for how we should treat other people and for how they should treat us. 2. We communicate and interact more positively and effectively with others. 3. We build strong, ongoing relationships with others founded on goodwill and trust. We may even make a new friend. 4. We gain greater insight into the people we interact with. They're more willing to express their ideas and feelings to us. 5. People are more willing to listen to us and work with us, even to give us their help and provide support when we need it. During our next few lessons, we'll be talking together about how George Washington applied courtesy as his warrior personal strength. George was born in 1732 on one of his parents' farms at Pope's Creek in what was then the Crown Colony of Virginia. It was in a part of Virginia called the Tidewater, near the western shore of the Chesapeake Bay. On their farms, they grew tobacco and corn, raised sheep for wool, and ran a small iron foundry as well. George's mother was Mary Ball, and his father was Augustine Washington. He had 5 brothers and 3 sisters: Lawrence, Augustine Jr., Samuel, John, Charles, Jane, Elizabeth, and Mildred. George started to learn about courtesy as a young child. He learned to call his mother "honored madam" to show his respect for her. As he grew older, George began to take on more responsibilities that meant learning to work with people he didn't know well, and some that he didn't know at all. George learned to apply courtesy as his warrior personal strength to communicate and work with people in positive, effective ways. But it took time and practice. Often, he made new friends. But sometimes George had to deal with difficult people that he didn't especially like, and who definitely didn't like him. Courtesy helped there too. It was a personal strength that came to serve him well. Now we've got some questions about courtesy for you to think over, talk over at home. We'll talk about these in our lessons together as well. The first of these: George learned to address his mother as "honored madam" to show his respect and consideration for her. Do you think it is important to speak to our parents with courtesy? What are some ways we can do that? Now, second question: should we make our parents clean up after us, or should we try to tidy up after ourselves? Which should we do to treat our parents with courtesy? And 3, courtesy can help us make new friends and to strengthen our existing friendships as well. It can also help us to deal with difficult people and situations. Does everyone have to be our friend? Should we still treat difficult people with courtesy? If so, then why? Again, I'd like you to think these over, talk them over at home. We'll talk about them together in class. And if you would, pick the one of these questions that interests you the most and email me your answer to the question. Let me know what you think. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to getting together next time when we'll talk a bit more about George and the warrior personal strength of courtesy. I will see you then.